Hey guys, you are welcome back to my YouTube channel, Beloved Academy. Thank you very much. Um, Here is another beautiful question that we are going to be solving. And please, I want you to pay attention very well as I will solve this question step by step. Now, before solving the question, I want us to read the question to ourselves. The first things and note the parameters that we are given. The question says, in a school farm, a practical plot was measured out and a student was allocated with 400 meters square. Now, I will first underline that 400 meters square, 400 meters square. Size to plant pepper. Yeah. Okay. After soil testing, the following fertilizers recommendation was made. As we know that we cannot just plant, we don't just plant, we must conduct soil tests to know the content of the nutrient that is inside the soil. So after soil testing, this was the recommendation that was made. 100 kilogram per hectare urea contain 46% nitrogen, 60 kilogram per hectare. This SSP means single super phosphate. Don't forget single super phosphate containing 80% P2O5 and 90 kg per hectare of muriate of potash containing 60% K2O. Now, the question now says how much urea SSP MOP would be blended to apply to the pepper plot. As you know that they told us that these are the kilogram that contains 1 hectare of these nutrients, but we only wanted to plant pepper on 400 meters square. So that is the first thing to note. Now, okay, now I want to write out all these parameters. I want to write it out and the area that I was given. So I will use it to calculate this question number 1. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. Just follow me carefully. Okay, I have written the first one, which is what the first recommendation that was made, which is what 100 kilogram of per hectare of nitrogen, which contains urea 46% nitrogen, and I wrote the areas. Now, if you look at the question very well, you will realize that this kilogram is in hectares. Have you seen? The recommendation made was according to hectares. It's not meter square. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing now is to make sure that I convert my area to what? Meter. I'm converting my area, which is in meter square, to what? Hectare. Please don't forget that's the first thing that we're going to be doing, and that's what I'm going to be doing right now. From your unit conversion, don't forget that 10,000 meters square will give me what? 10,000 meters square will give me 1 hectare. 10,000 meters square will give me 1 hectare. So I'm going to be having 10,000 meters square, 10,000 meters square will give me 1 hectare. So if 10,000 meters square give me 1 hectare, how many meters square will give me how many hectare will I get from 400 meters square? So that's what I'm going to be doing. 400 meters square is equals to x. So with that being said, the next thing to do is that you are going to cross multiply. This will go to this and this will go to this. So by doing that, you are going to be having x is equals to 10,000 meters square, 10,000 multiplied by I made a mistake. That was a mistake. If you cross multiply, there was a mistake in here. If you cross multiply, this x will be, we go and meet this, and this will go and meet this. So I'm going to be having x is equals to 400 all over 10,000. So x in hectare, the value of x in hectare is equals to 400 divided by 10,000. 400 divided by 10,000, that will give me 0.04. So I'm going to be having 0.04 hectare. So 500 meters square, I have converted my 500 meters square to hectare with this. So now the next thing to do is that don't forget that in this question this says that 100 kilogram per hectare, definitely 100 kilogram of nitrogen per hectare. That's what they measured. Now we don't have up to 1 hectare now, because per hectare means 1 hectare. We don't have up to 1 hectare now. We are only having 0.04 hectare. Now the next thing that we are going to be considering is that if 100 kilogram of nitrogen is used per hectare, how many kilogram of nitrogen will be used in 0.04 hectare? That's what I want to calculate now. So I have 100 kilogram of nitrogen. 100 kilogram of nitrogen is equals to 1 hectare. Is used in 1 hectare. How many? Let me represent the quantity of nitrogen that will be used in 0.04 hectare as let me represent it as small n. Small n is equals to 0.04 hectare. So now, what's the value of L? It still follow the same approach. You are going to be cross multiplying, whereby this will goes to this and this will goes to what? This. So now, if you cross multiply, you have that the value of n is equals to what? 0.04 multiplied by what? 0.04 multiplied by 100. If you punch your calculator, that means the value of n is equals to what? 4 kilogram. No, it's not 4 gram. 4 kilogram. So of n. So it is 4 kilogram of n that we'll be using in our area. For our area here, the area of the farm now is the area that they want to use pepper. They want to use to farm pepper is what? 400 meters square. And when we converted, we got what? 0.04 hectares. So the value of the quantity of nitrogen that they are going to be using in this area is what? 4 kilogram of nitrogen. Please follow me carefully. Now I'm going to be writing the second one. I've done for nitrogen. I've calculated the amount of nitrogen that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be doing for the second one now, which is what? Single superphosphate. That is what? 60 kilogram per hectare. I'm going to be writing it now. It still follow the same approach. Yeah, it's still following the same approach. If 60 kilogram is used in 1 hectare, 60 kilogram, that is 60 kilogram is used in 1 hectare. 1 hectare. How many kilogram? Now MP. This will be P. Like that's for phosphorus, single superphosphate. That's for phosphorus. Now 60 kilogram of phosphorus is used in 1 hectare. How many kilogram of phosphorus is used in 0.04 hectare? It still follows the same approach. Let me represent it with small p. Yes, let me represent it with small p. So small p will be equals to 0.04 hectare. So the same approach, you are still going to cross multiply. So after cross multiplying, you are going to get 0.04 multiplied by p will be equals to, and this will come to this 0.04 multiplied by 60. So P is equals to, if you punch your calculator, you got the answer. So after punching my calculator, the value of P that we use is 2.4 kilogram of phosphorus. So we want to get for potassium now. I'm going to be having 90 kilogram per hectare. I'm going to write this out also. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be having 90 kilogram of K is used in what? 1 hectare of the farmland. And let me represent it. The amount of kilogram of K that will be used in 0.04 hectare. Let me represent it as K, 0.04 hectare. So it still follows the same approach. You still have to what? Cross multiply. This will goes to this, and this will what? Goes to this. So if you cross multiply, you're going to be having your small k is equals to what? 0. Don't forget this is what? Hectare. Please don't forget. 0.04 multiplied by 90. So the amount of potassium that is needed in 0.04 hectares of land is what? 0.04 multiplied by 90. That is 3.6 kilogram of K. 3.6 kilogram of K is needed in 0.04 hectares of farmland. So that's the first thing. You have calculated the theory, you have calculated the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Now the next thing to do is that all this here, so that because I'll be making use of it to calculate the question number 1, which is how much of urea and SSP molar of potassium will be blended to apply to the pepper plot. In order to do this, don't forget that they said that urea contains 46% nitrogen. Now, if urea contain, that means that 100 kilogram of urea contain 46% nitrogen. How many kilogram with 4 kilogram of nitrogen contain? You don't understand what I'm saying? This is what I mean. Okay, now in 100 kilogram of urea, we have 46% nitrogen. Now the question, what this question is asking us now is that after we have calculated the amount of nitrogen that we need in our 0.04 meter square, 0.04 hectares of farmland that we are given, how many percent of nitrogen are we going to be using? That's what the question is asking us. As you know, urea contain at least nitrogen is made up of urea is made up of nitrogen. So that's what I'm going to be doing that now. Just follow me carefully. Now I will be taking what urea first, and I will be making use of this 46% because no compound. Nitrogen is an element. Yeah, nitrogen is an element here, so there is no compound like this, but I only have nitrogen here, so I'm going to be using this percentage directly. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. 46%. So I'm going to be having 100 kilogram. 100 kilogram is equals to 46 kilogram percentage of nitrogen. How many kilogram? Let me represent the numbers of kilogram I'm going to be getting. And how many kilogram will this 4 kilogram of nitrogen will I need? 4 kilogram of nitrogen. How many kilogram of nitrogen will I need? That's what the question is asking. That is, calculate the amount of urea that will be blend. So now, if you want to calculate this, it follows the same approach. The next thing to do is that you are going to cross multiply. This will go to this, as well as this will go to this. So by the time you are cross, after doing that, you're going to be having x is equals to what? 400 multiplied by, no, that's 100. Sorry, I made a mistake. 100 multiplied by 400, 100 multiplied by 4 all over 46. So x is equals to 400 all over 46. If you punch your calculator, you're going to be getting x is equals to 400 divided by 46. That will give you 400 divided by 46, 8.67, 8.7. Let me put it like that. 8.70 kilogram urea. It was per 500 meter cube. As you know, that's the area, 500 meters square. So this is the amount of urea that I'm going to be using. This is the amount of urea that I'm going to be blending. According to this means, this particular one means that I'm using 100 kilogram of urea for 6 nitrogen. 100 kilogram of urea contain 46 nitrogen. How many kilogram of urea will contain 4 kilogram of nitrogen? How many kilogram of urea will contain 4 kilogram of nitrogen? So after calculating it, this is the value that I'm asking for. This is the value that they asked me. 8.7 kilogram of urea will be used in 500 meters square of the farmland that we want to use to cultivate pepper. Follow me carefully for this. The next thing now I want to do now is that I have already calculated 46 nitrogen. Now I want to calculate, because I'm only concerned with phosphorus. I'm not concerned with this whole compound. I'm only concerned with what? Phosphorus in this compound. So now I want to calculate this 80% P2O5. I'm going to be writing it down. Okay, I've written it down. I want to calculate 80% P2O5. However, I told you I'm not concerned with this compound. I need the percentage of this compound contain, the total nutrients in this compound contain, the total nutrient in this compound is 80%, both phosphorus and oxygen. But I'm only concerned, I only want to get the percentage of phosphorus that is in this compound. How do I get that? Remember your empirical formula in your basic chemistry. However, I'm going to give you a good hint. If you want to find the percentage of if you want to find the percentage of phosphorus in this compound, just multiply the percent that they give you, multiply by 0.44. That will give me, to get the percentage of P, to get the percentage of P in P2O5. If I want to get the percentage of P in this P2O5, what I'm going to be doing is that I will multiply my 0.44 multiplied by 18%. So percentage of P is equals to 0.44 multiplied by percentage of what? P2O5. This is a subscript. It's a subscript, so don't forget, it's a subscript. This is not supposed to be here. Now multiply what's percentage of 0. Percentage of P2O5 that was given was what? 18%. So I'm going to be having 0.44 multiplied by 18. So I'm going to be having 0.44 multiplied by 18. That will give 0.44. Punch your calculator. 0.44 multiplied by 18. That is 7.92. 7.92. So the percentage of phosphorus in this compound is 7.92. After getting the percentage of phosphorus in this compound, you can now equate this percent as 100%. That is what? 100 kilogram. Equate it with 100 kilogram. That's what I'm going to be doing right now. So that will give me 7.92 kilogram of P will be equals to 100 kilogram. How many kilogram of P? Then what's the value of my P here? My P is what? 2.4 kilogram of P. 2.4 kilogram of P will be equals to what? X. That is, I want to calculate the amount of phosphorus that I'm going to be using for what? 2.4 kilogram. That I'm going to be using out of 2.4 kilogram. I want to calculate the, as you know, that this single superphosphate, the only nutrient that I needed in this single superphosphate, which is SSP, is phosphorus. So I'm going to calculating the amount of phosphorus I'm going to be using, which is totally related to the SSP, as I've done that for urea also. So I'm going to be having what? This will goes to this, and this will goes to this. So if you cross multiply, you're going to be having that the value of X. And also, I don't want to be confused because I'm using X. You can actually use any value, but X is what comes to my mind because we have always solved X and Y in mathematics. It's never done. So I'm going to be having the X is equals to 100 multiplied by 2.4 divided by what? 7.92. Of course, if you cross multiply X, we multiply this, and this will multiply this, which is this. after they multiply themselves, I'm going to be having 7.92x. I'm dividing both sides by 7.92. I'm going to be resulting with this. So it's still the same. So now calculate the value of your x. Now if you punch your calculator, the value of x is 30.30. 30.30. X is equals to 30.30. 30.30 SSP. Of course, that's what I'm using for. Per 400 meter square. I forgot. So that's the amount of SSP that I'm going to be using. In kilogram rather. You have to put kilogram. Don't forget your unit. And that's the amount of SSP that I'm going to be using. And the meaning of SSP is single superphosphate. Don't forget. Okay, now the next question that I want to solve now is for mole rate of potash. And this one is what? This is the compound that they gave me. This compound that they gave me 60% K2O. Don't forget our principle. I'm not looking for 60% K2O. I only need the percentage of potassium in this total nutrient. So in order to get the percentage of nutrients, if you don't want to stress yourself, just multiply this percentage by 0.83. So the percentage of K2, percentage of K in K2 in K2O. How do I got that percentage? Just multiply it by 0.03 to get the percentage of K. Percentage of K2 is equals to 0.83 multiplied by percentage of K2O. Don't stress yourself. 0.83 multiplied by 60. So punch your calculator. 0.83 multiplied by 60 times 60. That is 49.8. 49.8. 49.8. 0%. So that's the percentage of K in this percent. Now I have known the percentage of K in this. So I'm going to be equating it to 100 again. So I'm going to be having 49.8 kilogram of K is equals to 100 kilogram. So don't forget our K here. Our K is what? 3.6 kilogram. This is the amount of kilogram of potassium that we are going to be using. So I want to get the amount of potassium that we are going to be using out of this 49.8 kilogram of K. How many kilogram I'm going to be using? That's what I want to calculate. So I'm going to be having 3.6 kilogram of K equals to what? Represented with X again. So if you cross multiply, X will be equals to this will goes to X will multiply this and this will multiply this. X will be equals to what? 100 kilogram 100 multiplied by 3.6 all over 49.8. So if you point your calculator on 100 multiplied by 3.6, that will give me 360. So I'm going to be having 360 divided by 49.8. 360. So that is 7.23. My X is equals to 7.23 kilogram of MOP will be used per what? 500 meters square. That's the area that I was given. So I'm done with question. Number 1, which is what? How much of urea SSP MOP will be blended to apply to the pepper plot. Now question number 2 says that if 1 kilogram of urea and single superphosphate and mole rate of potash cost 500 naira, 750 naira, and 900 naira per kilogram respectively, what is the total amount of NPK fertilizer applied? You know, this is very simple. Just multiply this amount, each amount, by the value that you just got. That is what I'm going to be doing right now. So I have this. This is the amount of urea that is needed to be blended according to question number 1. Amount of single superphosphate that is needed to be blended is this. Amount of mole rate of potash that is needed to be blended is this. Now the question has said, question 2 says, if 1 kilogram of urea this cost 500 naira. So the kilogram of urea cost this. The kilogram of single superphosphate cost this, and the price of mole rate of potash cost this. Don't forget, all these are what? 1 kilogram. Now if I want to get, if 1 kilogram of urea costs 500 naira, how much will be, if 1 kilogram of urea costs 500 naira, how much will 8.70 kilogram cost? It's simply simple. Just multiply it with what? 500 naira and get your final answer. And if multiply that 8.70 multiplied by 500, that is 4,350 naira. Don't forget your naira. 4,350. So that is the value of. So now according to the second one, the one for single superphosphate costs 750 naira. If 1 kilogram of single superphosphate costs 750 naira, 30 kilogram will cost 30. It will just multiply by what? 750 naira. 750 naira. Don't forget your unit. 750 naira. You multiply that by 750 naira. That will 22,000. 22,725 naira. And for the third one, we have 900 naira. So multiplied by 900. If you multiply this, you're going to be getting, so you're going to be having 6,507. So these are the values for the second question. Please, I want you to tell me what you feel about the video. If you gain from the video, like the video if you like the video, and if you want to help me contribute to the growth of the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and share the video to the needed people. Thank you very much. Bye.